This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Today, we connect with Mr. M. Mahadevan. He's Chennai's food icon, but his footprint extends far beyond this city, from Botswana to Canada, from the UAE to Paris, and virtually in every country of the world. Thank you very much, sir. What an amazing footprint to have.
Thank you, Jennifer. I started my career about 30 years ago in the city of Chennai. Started with a very small takeout joint in Nungambakkam High Road.
Right, but sir, before that, you were actually a marketing professor
Right.
of marketing at the Madras University.
That's right. We started it, I was doing a moonlighting, working in the college in the daytime, and simultaneously working in the hotel industry, which is called the Ambassador Pallava now. Earlier it was Sudarshan, so I was moonlighting there as a night manager, because I thought food is a line I wanted to choose and build upon. Being bitten by the food bug much younger in my college days. So I started it that way, learning the job on the job. And incidentally, I got a little opportunity to teach in catering college, the Taramani Institute. That's where I learned if you know how to control your costing, food business is a good business because you buy on credit, sell on cash. So you can work out your profit on a daily basis. And this is one more thing which is interesting for me, which came into later stage, was it generates a lot of employment which our country requires.
Right, but now it's grown, and now in the city of Chennai itself, you have over 42 outlets. But it's different types of food. It's Indian, it's Thai, Mexican, continental. But you started with bread. Something as basic and as simple as bread. Who would have even thought you could make money out of bread?
I call it a string of pearls. All the various food I'm involved in. But my first joint was a Chinese takeaway at Nungambakkam High Road, where the Hispahani Center stands now. A little hut, I'm sure that I still recollect. I invested about 60,000 rupees and put up a takeaway center, which will open only at about 4 in the evening. Because I was teaching in the daytime, I used to come and open in the evening and sell about 3,000 to 4,000 rupees worth of soup and noodles. When I was working in Sudarshan, I used to do a little study which helped me to do this. And this was, Indians loved Indian food. The next choice was Chinese food. So that time, I think in the year 86, 87, the city was growing, not very many restaurants. So coming from a professional family, my father and mother both were doctors. They were not entrepreneurs, they were not businesslike. I still remember when I told my mother I'm resigning from the teaching profession, getting into food. She was so upset, she called me all names and said, you're gone mad. What a teaching profession, what kind of a name it has got, and you're leaving and you're becoming a waiter or a cook. Because she could only understand these two things in the hotel industry. It took me some time to convince her. Then I got into it and we kept on plowing back our profit. So it was a Chinese takeaway, which I started in 85, 86.
Right. So basically you have, in point of fact, combined food, food with business really, and most successfully. Were you ever actually trained as a chef? What was your kind of background? You're talking about the catering college. Did you actually learn how to make, for instance, Chinese noodles or a wonton or soup or whatever?
I was sent to the college, Jennifer, to teach catering management. They have a paper for the second and third year students, how to run a restaurant or a hotel successfully. End of the day, your food is good, but you should have money left in the pocket to pay your wages, to take your profit, to pay your interest and pay back the loan. So when all these things come together, bottom line matters a lot in running a very successful restaurant. Even today, if you go to New York, you ask a banker to give you some money to open a restaurant, he will not give it because he says 70% of the restaurant closes down the first year in New York City. And that goes everywhere, in all the major cities. If you're not that popular, you wind up, because high rents, wage cost is high. If you can't meet up these two basic ingredients, I mean, you're finished. That's so second year you close down, wind up your show. Our industry is very, very tricky. You got to understand the numbers, and you got to take it and do a lot of homework. And my success is totally because we've done a lot of homework before we enter into any kind of business.
Right. What about controlling quality? How does that work with you? I mean, you've got so many outlets right here in the city. So first of all, let's start with Chennai itself. So how do you manage to control, make sure that when I go into one of your restaurants, the quality of food or the quality of service is going to be what I'm going to expect or demand, in fact?
As the saying goes, I mean, proof of the pudding is in eating. How much ever the chef tells me food is good or the manager says I'm giving you a perfect service, I walk into, if I'm in the city, I'm a non-resident, so 180 days I have to be outside the country. The day I'm in the city, I walk into any of my restaurants, have one meal at least in one of my restaurants, taste it myself and find little faults here and there. As you ask me a question, do you know cooking? Absolutely no. But then I can find faults. And my chefs understand me very well. When I tell them this is missing, they appreciate it because it's a fact. I'm a good taster. I'm not a good cook.
Right. Do you ever actually set up somebody to go and have a meal on your behalf, and then do you have people who do this kind of thing? The spying is not the right word, but do you in fact have friends or relations or family go out and do this for you?
We call it the mystery customer.
That's a nice word.
They all go there. But my main strength is I've been in the city for the past 30 years. I've developed a lot of friends and they all know me. They meet me in the airport, they meet me in the club, or they meet me somewhere in some other party or any other restaurant. They tell me, Madi, that's how they call me, the short name. I've been there, but this is not good, please check it out. So these kind of inputs, I take it seriously. Any customer complaint is very, very serious for us, and we don't take it lightly. We follow it up and find a remedy immediately. I mean, a cake is not delivered on time, the sponge is not that soft enough. If we get across, we go deep into that, try to solve. Quality matters, and that's what brought me to the stage, gone up to Botswana or to Paris, selling coal to the miner, that kind of a deal.
Okay. We'll come back and actually talk about that. We'll get right back to you and discuss far more with Mr. Mahadevan, so please don't go away.